Vidya Balan, Jishu Sengupta was telling me about your robust laughter. And I said, Vidya Balan's laughter is like church bells ringing and pealing. And I'm going to say that again.
Wow!
It is.
Wow! My God, how
It is. It's
lovely
just
is that?
lovely. I
Thank
can't get
you.
enough of it. It's just lovely, and it's so wonderful to talk to you again. How are friends, family, the extended family doing well during this COVID-19
Everyone
crisis?
is well. Yeah, thank you. God's grace. Yeah. What about you? All well at home?
So far, so good. Can't complain.
That's good.
Do you believe, Vidya, that Shakuntala Devi had a divine force within her? I mean, she answered these humongous problems. I mean, purely rational people would say, no, there was a technique. But you see these videos online where she's faster than a computer and she's giving the answer as soon as a person finishes. And she herself says, it's divine. What
She
is
says
your
it's a
opinion?
gift.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
she
gift.
believed that it was a gift from Ganesha, her favorite god. So, I've not been able to really break this down and figure it out despite having done the film because it's still unthinkable for me that someone would be able to arrive at an answer in, to a complicated question in 28 seconds, 50 seconds, always faster than the computer. It's unimaginable, right? It's unfathomable. But I think she says it's not like the answer just popped into her head. She went through the steps to arrive at the answer. So obviously she was beyond brilliant. There was something, um, you can call it a blessing, you can call it a divine power, or just that, her IQ was just probably, I remember, it's also in the film, you know, some scientists wanted to really unearth what Shakuntala Devi was all about. So they did a whole lot of tests on her and they arrived at nothing. They couldn't figure how she did what she did.
Also at the other end, she was very pragmatic. She talks about numbers never lying, Vidya. She
Yeah.
says it's the only truth. She just walks on her path without worrying about what people say. Now, such people sometimes don't give in to fits of extreme emotion. Was that a problem in Shakuntala Devi's relationships with her husband briefly and her daughter for a long time? I mean, we see some of that friction in the trailer.
No, I think, she remained a child till the very end. And at the same time, like you're saying, there was a pragmatic side to her. Maybe, I remember there was a time when there was some conversation around the fact that is she autistic? In terms of some autistic people are extremely bright and they're not, the emotions are not one of their strengths.
Dustin Hoffman in Rain Man, I remember that Tom
Yeah,
Cruise.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But um, I think they realized that she's not autistic. But more importantly, I think she was, I think it's very difficult to define or describe her because she was not one thing, Rishi. If you thought a mathematician or a genius would be slightly, maybe withdrawn, especially a mathematical genius, not just a mathematician or a genius, a mathematical genius. It almost, you associate a certain seriousness with that person. She had none of that. She had a wicked sense of humor. you know she enjoyed life. She wanted to live life to the fullest. She saw maths and everything. But if I may say so, I think her biggest flaw was that she wanted it all. And I don't say it as a flaw in her, I say it as a flaw the world saw in her. Because it's unimaginable that a woman could want everything, that she doesn't make just her family and her child her priority, that she has dreams for herself is unthinkable, especially for a woman at that time. So I think people thought that, and she I think what she grappled with is that she was like, why can't I have it all?
Sure. Yeah.
What is this difference between a man and a woman? I don't think she ever understood that.
Tell me about your interactions with her daughter Anupama, or did you spend time with her? Or was it only Anu Menon?
Yes.
You did. Oh, wonderful. Yeah.
Yes, I did. You know, when I went to London, I spent time with her, and they visited the sets quite often, Anupama and her husband Ajay, and also their daughters Amrita and Nayana. So it gave me a peek into how they saw their grandmother, because you know Anupama and Ajay had done interviews with Anu Menon and Nayanika over months. So I had heard those tapes. So, you know, that was still, I had that reference. But I also got to see how these girls saw their grandmother, which was fantastic. And, you know, there are things that we've not used in the film. I feel like you can't even call this a biopic because you know, you can't possibly tell her entire life story in a span of 2 hours, but we've, you know, chosen the most landmark events, I guess. But all that they shared with me, and they did so very transparently and honestly, and they were so forthcoming, it gave me a sense of how she was as a person, of how, despite that sharpness, and there was an innocence of a child. Like I said, she had the curiosity of a child till the very end.
Writing a book on homosexuality, Vidya, couldn't have been easy in the 70s. I mean, not because of the subject or that she sympathized with them, but even homosexuals and gay people must have questioned her, saying, I mean, how can you talk about us when you're straight? Yeah? So
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
want you to comment on that.
No, so I think that firstly, you know, that there was a book on homosexuality written by her is it's crazy, right? Because I don't think people even spelt homosexuality in India at the time. It was such a big taboo. You didn't want to confront that at all. And she just, I think she, from what I know of her, I think she was a very non-judgmental person, you know, which is why she could write. She had empathy for homosexuals who were having to hide their true identities, who were having to live a lie, and who had no option. They were probably, they had made that part of them invisible to themselves because they thought they would never be accepted the way they are. So I think it's just incredible. You know, you don't have to be uh, anything to have empathy for someone else. You don't have to live that. What I mean is, you don't have to live that person's life to have empathy or to understand.
Jishu Sengupta says you pull his leg like anything. Often he realizes much later that you've taken the mickey out of him. Now, we've always known of Akshay Kumar, the prankster, and Abhishek Bachchan, the prankster, and you worked with both of them. Now, suddenly, this reputation of Vidya Balan, the prankster, you worked with both of them. So, how do you rank yourself in order of appearance? Prankster, Akshay Kumar, Abhishek Bachchan, Vidya Balan. Are you a confirmed prankster?
That's what people tell me, but I'd like to believe that I've actually, you know, watched Akshay pull pranks on people, and he does it in a way where you can't tell, you know, and I'm always amazed by that. So I think, and you know, I did 2 films with him early on in my career. Maybe I, you know, I'm his Eklavya. Blame it on him.
There was a whole interview of Mission Mangal where you were with him and in the studio. It just completely went bizarre. Which
Yeah,
animal
I
would it
remember.
look like or something? It just became about Animal Planet or something.
Crazy,
Yeah.
crazy.
Some people say astrology is hogwash, Vidya. Others say it's very scientific. For Shakuntala Devi, she was really interested in astrology. She wrote books on the subject. Now, this is to Vidya Balan. Are you into Jyotish Vidya? Are you into numerology? Are you an astrology kind of person? You know, Janapatri
N-
Milana type? No?
Not at all. Only because I feel that I understand that it is very scientific. But I feel that what happens is when you get an astrological reading done, um, you know, that becomes what those people, what the astrologer tells you invariably gets etched in stone for you. And it could become a self fulfilling prophecy. And invariably, what is not positive is what sticks. For example, when I was, you know, I had just done Hampanch, and my mother took me to an astrologer who was visiting our neighbor, and I very reluctantly went because I was actually, I guess I was a teenager, not interested in all this. And then she looked at my hand and she said, you'll do a little bit of work as an actor and you'll do television. I guess she already knew I was doing television. She said, you won't do anything else. And I came out and I told my mom, I will do exactly what I want to do in life. Doesn't matter what this woman says. But I have seen people let their lives be dictated by astrologers. I think they give up, and it's almost like an escape, especially when you're going through tough times, when they then feel that, oh, anyway, this is not a very productive period for me, so let me just, they give up on. I think God helps those who help themselves. Fortune favors the brave. So you can't give up, which is why I'm not very I wouldn't go to an astrologer.
It's your first film with Sanya Malhotra. Such a delightful
Yes.
girl. Let's talk about her.
Oh, she is delightful. What an actor, what a dancer, and just so conscientious. I love the fact that she actually thinks about the character, and look at the body of work she already has. There's such a wide variety within the few films that she's done. So I think she's amazing, and it was very easy between us. It was like, it was so effortless between us. It was there was I didn't always feel like her mother, because I would have been 14 to have
That would have been pushing it.
yeah, but I just felt a lot of affection for her.
So one thing I know that you must have come very comfortably to you in terms of Shakuntala Devi was the look. You love wearing saris. But I'm going to ask you, what was most difficult? I mean, you said this yourself. I mean, it's fascinating. Normally, mathematicians, people who are doing their PhD with numbers are very reclusive. And here's a woman who's actually an extrovert, loves meeting people. What took you lots of time to wrap your head around in playing this on-screen character? What is the most difficult one?
I think the most difficult or the most challenging part was the match shows, and we have a lot of those in the film, because she made it look like a magic show. Yeah, she enjoyed it. She was literally like saying abracadabra, and without saying it, she would arrive at the number, arrive at the answer. So that kind of joy that I saw on her face when she did maths, did her various shows, I wanted to feel that. And she was energetic, and she was quick, and at the same time she had a wicked sense of humor, and she was well turned out always. She was very interested in dressing up well and being well presented and all that. So there are so many layers, like you said. And far from reclusive, she was a performer, not just on stage, of course on stage, but apparently she was obviously meeting dignitaries from all over the world, and she would have like Hollywood stars and coming to her for astrological consultations, and of course prime ministers and presidents and all, when she'd go visit the countries for her shows. And apparently she'd have them enthralled. She used to regale them with stories and have them eating out of her palm. She was just one of those larger than life women. So I think to uh, for me to reconcile the maths with this person, because there's only so much reference material that I have.
Correct.
Because there's not too many videos, and even when you read articles, it's not the same as if I'd been able to watch her, then that would have been a different thing. So I think Anu Menon and I worked a lot on getting those match shows that are in a particular, getting the rhythm of those match shows.
I noticed that in the Sunidhi Chauhan song Paas Nahi To Fail, you've gone back to your alma mater. It's filmed in St. Xavier's College.
Yes.
Must have been really nostalgic for you. Tell me about walking the corridors, dancing in them, the basketball court.
Yeah, we shot for 2 days, and actually we shot for more. We shot other scenes also there. And it was extremely hot. And the first day I went there, I got into a bad mood because Xavier's was empty. And I'm going there after years. So I don't know what I was expecting. Maybe I was expecting it to see my friends there, or it is some crazy
Saturday
idea
time warp, yeah.
yeah. So I suddenly felt like, oh my God, this is not where I studied. This is not my Xavier's. But then I started walking through the woods, and I went to the boys' hostel and the canteen, and then slowly I started feeling like, oh, this is where I've spent 5 years, and so many memories. And then I messaged some of my closest friends, And I said, I'm here. I took pictures there and I sent it to them. It just felt, I wish they had been there with me that day, because revisiting college and not having even none of the professors, because, holidays were on, but it still felt that structure, that, oh God, magnificent. And then on the second day, I met Father Terry. And after, he's actually shifted out to Nasik, but he happened to be visiting and he heard I was shooting. So I was so happy to see him. I was like, Father, I didn't see any familiar face, even the peons and all. There weren't too many. There was one peon that I knew from my days. And it felt good.
Lovely. There's also Shreya Ghoshal in the soundtrack. We don't hear enough of Sunidhi and Shreya. So, thank you, Z Music Company. Thank you, Sachin and Jigar, for bringing them back. And Shreya seems to have done what is a very sensitive mother-daughter song. I haven't seen the video. I heard the audio of it. I think it's called Paheli. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, it's a lovely song. It's like a love story between the mother and daughter. I feel like I'm in that phase with my mother now. I've begun to see her as a person now, and not just as my mother, a person who has her own life. And maybe that's why Shakuntala Devi happened to me at that time. I see the equation between my sister and her little girl. And when I heard that song, I was like, every mother and every daughter will relate with this. It is a love story. It's about how you don't get each other always. It's yeah, we are mysteries to each other, and yet we understand each other the best, and we are each other.
In the midst of a hectic life, Shakuntala Devi gets into politics, and that really intrigues me. While I was reading up for this interview, a couple of items said that she got into politics, and I was like, why would somebody with such a diverse set of talents want to do that? Does the film delve into that at all, Vidya?
Yeah,
Oh, it does.
yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
Wow.
Because I'm telling you, she believed that even the sky was not the limit. She just wanted to do everything in this one lifetime. So if someone suggested to her that she should be in politics and she should fight Indira Gandhi, she was like, okay, bring it on.
Were you familiar with Anu Menon's work? Did you see Waiting, the Naseer Saab and Kalki film, or more recently, did you see Former Shots season one? And did the relationship with your director pan out very beautifully on screen as well as on screen? Just a bit about that.
No, actually, I chose Former Shots happened after I decided to do the film,
Okay,
and I decided not to watch it
fair enough.
until I was done with the film. Because I just feel that it's completely, they're two different subjects, completely different subjects. And I loved her approach. And I had seen the trailer of Fomo Shots, and I knew that that's a different space. So I was like, I don't think it's not like it's a similar subject, so I could get a sense of how she's going to handle it or anything like that. But I just think she's got a very unique voice. She's uh, she's got a very unique take. I think it's so fantastic that a woman chose to tell the story of Shakuntala Devi. A woman who's probably also, I think all of us women, and especially as mothers, working mothers, I think they're all grappling with that, right? Being a good mother versus, it becomes a versus living your dream. So I think she has this very she has this very nuanced understanding of the situation, which I absolutely love. And I love that she loves Shakuntala Devi so much. That makes all the difference. I It's also Rishi, I think it's the most, she's an extremely collaborative director, and not just with me as an actor, but with everyone on set. She's very demanding. She pushes you to deliver what she wants and to deliver your best. But if you have a suggestion, and that could be anyone from any department, it could be an assistant, she will hear you out, and then she'll weigh and evaluate that suggestion. I think there's really no ego about it. And I don't know whether that's got to do with the fact that she's a female director, or just that That's the kind of person she is. But I found that extremely refreshing.
I'm really proud of all the work you did and you continue to do during this COVID crisis, sending out PPE kits to hospitals, mobilizing resources, shouting out online to frontline workers and doctors. You obviously feel very strongly about what's happening in the country as well as the planet.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just feel that I'm in a very privileged position. And therefore, if I can help in whatever way I can, sitting at home, I'll do what I can personally and then try and get others also, urge others to do whatever they can. Because honestly, we're not out there. There are, of course, the frontline healthcare workers and also your municipality sanitation workers, the police force. They've all been putting themselves at risk and their families at risk. And all of us have been, sitting at home and been worrying about so many other things, but it still um, doesn't match what those people are doing for us. Because they're out there, we're able to sit at home and feel safe and keep ourselves and our loved ones safe. So I felt very strongly also, because I feel very strongly about this. I also feel that it's been a jolt. It's unprecedented. uh I think it took all of us a while to wrap our heads around this. It's changed the way we live, we look at the world, and hopefully for the better. So I thought whatever I can do, I'll do. Whatever the outcome, even if one person is going to respond, great.
Lovely. Last couple of questions. A skill you picked up in lockdown. I mean, some people seem to be learning new softwares, technology. Anything you
That's
picked up?
definitely not something that I'm interested in. But I did try my hand at cooking a little bit. And I realized that cooking doesn't intimidate me anymore. And
Nice.
I realized that cooking is not tough. Good cooking is, but cooking per se is not tough.
And what did you whip up in the kitchen? A storm? Just saying.
It would, after I'd cooked, the kitchen would actually look like a storm had passed. I would be all over the place. But thankfully, there was no one around, to tell me that, oh, you're making such a mess of everything. And I also realized that it's so easy to tell people, my cook, for example, please cook in less oil, please cook in less oil. But when you're cooking yourself, the easiest thing to do is pour more oil or
Of
butter or
course. Yeah.
ghee or
Yeah.
whatever. So that's definitely been a revelation. But I tried my hand at korkatai, modaks.
Mm, of course.
Yeah, then of course, parathas and scrambled eggs. And I've never cooked in my life. So this is a big deal for me.
Lovely. We've got to end with Nutcut. I mean, your first venture as co-producer with Ronnie Screwvala, and
Yeah.
it's been so well received. Unfortunately, I mean, I don't know if you missed the festival, we haven't been able to catch it as yet.
No,
Uh,
we're hoping to release it on an OTT platform
Lovely.
soon. So then it'll be available to everyone.
But it's so
Um,
must be so special, and the reactions that have come thus far, even the few that have come, have been must be really wonderful for you.
no, really wonderful. And it is a tough film to watch, which is why I think it's perfect that it's a short film. And I didn't set out to be producer, but I'm happy to have my name on this film as producer, because I think it's a very important, um, it makes you think, you know it just makes you question a whole lot of things about how we're actually, I think, both as men and women, victims and perpetrators equally of toxic masculinity. So I think I was like quite gobsmacked when Sean Vyas came to me. I was like, really, you can tell this story in 30 minutes? And he was like, yeah, and I think we managed to do it. So I'm glad. It's being, we just won a prize at the Stuttgart Film Festival.
Oh, lovely.
And yeah, so I think we're slowly beginning our journey to the festivals around the globe. So let's hope for the best.
Vidya, you're lovely, and every conversation with you is special. This is another memorable one. I can't wait to see you unleash Shakuntala Devi upon us in a beautiful manner.
Thank you.
Thank you,
And
my
I always enjoy talking to you. Take care.
Thank you, Vidya.
Bye,
Bye.
Rishi. Bye.